This video is covering how to set up an inbound agent. So inbound agent just stands for the AI that will answer the phone when it calls into a number. So you have our client ID that's pre-filled here. This is pre-filled when you're logged in with either your email or the client ID. You have the initial message here, which the message that the AI will say as soon as the phone call connects. So a message could be, let's see, hello, who am I speaking with? Hello, who am I speaking with? So this is the AI asking for their name so it can start the conversation. Then we have a voice carousel here where you can select between your AI voices. It's around 40 here so far. We'll add more as we go. So let's see what this sounds like. Okay, you can use this to obviously play the voices to see what they sound like. Okay, I like the way that Caleb's voice sounds very realistic. Click that one. You can go down here to change language. So this is where you can change the language that the AI will be expected to be speaking in. So we have English, German, Spanish, Hindi, Portuguese, French, Dutch, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, and Korean. So I'm going to click English for now. And what's very important is when you change the language, let's say I want to change it to Spanish, you will have to prompt the AI to speak in the language. So let's say that I want to speak in Spanish. At the beginning of the prompt, I would just put, let me speak in Spanish. And then I could paste the prompt in. The prompt does not have to be in Spanish. You can put the prompt in English, but as long as you told it to speak in Spanish, then it will. Okay, set this back to English. We have some different configuration options here. We have the interrupt sensitivity. So this is how sensitive the AI is to interruptions. If it's high, that means it's very sensitive, which means that you could have a small utterance under your breath and it will stop speaking to allow you to speak. Then you have low, which means that it's not very sensitive at all, and you'll have to really say something like with your chest and say something very like boastfully for it to interrupt itself and stop speaking to give you a chance to speak. You won't have to yell or anything crazy like that, but you'll have to speak as if you're like meaning to say something. So a small utterance wouldn't interrupt it. You have the response speed, which controls how the bot determines when the human is done speaking, so it can kick off its response. You have sensitive, which means that it's going to respond immediately after you break your sentence. Let's say you're gathering your words or you're trying to figure out what to say next. It may interrupt you and start speaking over you. And then you have auto, which adjusts throughout the conversation to ensure that it gives the person time to speak before responding, basically. Here you have the creativity. This is giving the AI ability to be more creative in its output, meaning that it will be more creative in its answers and the way that it goes about the conversation compared to the prompt that you give it. If you push it all the way down to 0.1, it will be very it will stick to the script or stick to the prompt very closely, meaning that if you prompt it to say specific things at certain points, it'll only say those things, nothing more, nothing less. And then if you were to slide the creativity all the way up to 1, it will still stick to the instructions that you gave it. Like it will remember the script or prompt that you gave it, but it will be more creative in those responses. Let's say that the prompt is for a realtor and someone says the house that they're going to see is flooding because it rained all day. The AI, depending on its prompt, if it was at 0, it may apologize and ask for a reschedule or something of that nature and say, oh, I'm sorry that happened, and ask them to reschedule. But if the creativity was all the way up to 1, it may say, oh my God, I can't believe that it rained all day and the house is flooded. Are you okay? Are you safe? Do you need me to alert the authorities? Or would you like to, something that's more creative but still on the prompt and on par with the conversation? It may not, ask to alert the authorities necessarily. It might have been a little bit of over exaggeration, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It will kind of like adjust to the scenario more naturally and give it that freedom to really be an AI. We have the call transfer here, which gives it situations and scenarios that it can transfer the call. So this is where you would put in the phone number that it will be transferring to. So let's say that I want to transfer to this phone number. Now we have 2 different versions of this, and this is a transfer mid-conversation as well. We have prompt-based transfer and keyword-based transfer. The only reason keyword-based has more reliable by it is because it's easier to get the AI to only transfer when a keyword or phrase is said. But to use prompt-based, let's say that I hit save here, I would have to tell it in the prompt when to actually transfer the call. So let's give an example of so educate the prospect on my product and service when the person is interested in buying, transfer the call. Okay, this is a very simple example saying educate the prospect on my product and service. When the person is interested in buying, transfer the call. So on a prompt-based transfer, this could be a little confusing because to the AI, there's multiple different ways a person could express interest in buying a product. So a person, let's say that once the AI educated the person on the product, said, hey, this product does X, Y, and Z, and it costs this much. And the person says, oh, that sounds good, but what about this? And asks another question about the product. To the AI, that could be the person saying they're interested in the product, and that might warrant a transfer, which may be a premature transfer. But if I were to go in here and do keyword-based or phrase-based, I could say, please hold while I transfer you. Okay, please hold while I transfer you. Hit save. Okay, now let's revisit this prompt. When the person is interested in buying, ask if they have any additional questions. Then say the words please wait while I transfer you. You must say, just going to copy this. You must say, please wait while I transfer you. Sorry, please wait while I transfer you. When it's time to transfer the person. So this is a more clear instruction set on when to transfer the call. You can accomplish the same instruction with the prompt based as well, but we have just seen it's a little bit easier to instruct the AI to say a specific phrase when a scenario is met to transfer the call at that point in time, basically. So this is a good example of how to use both. We have calendar booking here. We support cow.com and Go High Level. So I'm going to go to my cow.com account and show you how to get the username, API key, and event ID so that you can get those to set up your inbound agent. And then I'll also show you in Go High Level where to get your calendar ID and time zone. I will actually do a separate video on how to get your cow.com and GHL credentials, just so I don't prolong this one too much. I hit the reset button here. You have the send post call info to external source. This is if you want to send information from the call. So like this is your transcript, your recording, your outcome of the call, whether it was a transfer, a booked appointment, DNA, DNC, the person said they don't want to be called back, etc. You want all this information to be sent to an external webhook URL. Then you would put that URL here. This is for people that want to use a CRM other than Go High Level, meaning that you didn't enter your API key during onboarding and you're just using the dashboard and you want to send this information to, let's say, Zapier or Make.com or even another CRM that you're using that's not Go High Level. You would put that URL here, and at the end of the call, all the information from the call will be sent to this URL. So that it can be used to either match a contact or it can be used to fill a database or something like that. Okay. We also have pre-made prompts down here. So we have a list here. We'll be adding more. You have your B2B SaaS sales qualified, customer engagement script for Medicare, mortgage prompt, hotel hospitality, high ticket webinar reminder, voice AI services, things of that nature. Click this. You'll see that it will pre-fill here. Or you can just make your own from scratch. You can hit this button to copy the prompt, or you can hit this button here to save the agent. So I'm going to give it a name. Let's say I'll give it demo test agent. Okay. Description. Outbound sales and books appointments. Booked appointments. Cool. Okay. Once I click save here, it will then take me to my agents page. So if I scroll down, you will see demo test agent. This is the agent that I just made using the inbound agent generator. So I have a few different options here. I can either hit this, hit edit, hit delete, hit edit, then it will take me back to the editor that I just left. It'll have all the settings that I made in place here, the prompt that I saved, etc. Okay. If I go back to agents again, scroll back down, I can assign the agent to a phone number. So when I click this button, I will see all the phone numbers that are registered in my account. So this is the numbers that are in my Twilio account and added to my AI calling account here. And then I can assign the inbound agent to one of the numbers that I have. If I have a number that's already assigned to another agent, I can hit this overwrite button to overwrite the agent that's assigned to this number. I can scroll down this carousel list and see all the other agents that I have assigned. So if I want to assign this agent to, let's pick a random number here. I guess actually I'll overwrite this one. Write this. Top inbound agent assigned, which means it was assigned successfully. And you can assign this inbound agent to multiple numbers if you would like so. Click this, I can assign it to a different number if I'd like to. But you can only have one inbound agent per phone number. It's very key. That's why it won't allow me to, it won't allow me to assign it to this number again because this agent is already assigned to this number. But the agents can be one-to-one with the phone number, basically. Okay. And that's it for the inbound agent tutorial.